How are we, guys? Always to be, and it's Monday Night Football. So, first thing you're probably wondering is, where the hell is Joe Wainman? Unfortunately, it's like an April Fool's Day joke gone wrong. It's me this week, anyway, guys. Sorry, I just had got this live stream on the laptop out, so on the computer as well, so we can just check the comments as we're going along. So, I'm a bit conscious of the fact that I've not done a review of the Millwall game. I've not had a chance, literally not a chance, since the final whistle went against Millwall. So, it's a review of that first of all to start with. I mean, the absolute drama. I mean, it's incredible, isn't it, really? It's just, it's like, as the title says, 30 minutes and we've seen a 6-point swing. Sheffield United have been leading the game 2-1 against Bristol City. We've gone 2-1 now, and it's just all changed. I think at that moment, I did have an eye on that Sheffield United game as we were watching the Millwall game. I didn't want to have too much of an eye on it, but I did have a bit of an eye on it, the notifications and that lot. And when Sheffield United going 2-1 up came up, you're thinking, then we went 2-1 down, and you're thinking, this is really real problems, isn't it? And I'll be honest, I heard a couple of people in the crowd saying, it's playoffs, isn't it, guys? It's going to be playoffs. There was a bit of an F and a FUCK was in there. It's fucking playoffs, guys. It's fucking this, it's fucking that. And everyone was panicking. Let's be honest, everyone was panicking at 2-1 down. We were pretty flat at that point when we went 2-1 down in the game. And you're thinking at that point, you're thinking, typical Leeds United, throwing it away and that lot. But this team's got character, hasn't it? Let's be honest, this team's got real character. The pressure was on, and we stood up to the challenge again. Once again, I have to say, well, I've not actually said it on an ALTV video as of yet. I felt it was probably our poorest performance of the season at home. Maybe controversial to say that, but I thought that's our poorest performance so far this season. In terms of defensively, I thought we were a little bit all over the place, but we got through it. We got through a bad performance and got ourselves a good win. We played loads better against Sheffield United and lost the game. We won against Millwall. Okay, Millwall are in a really bad moment at the minute. Obviously, it looks like they're in a real relegation battle now. I think they're only a point above the bottom three, and a really poor run of form. And you're looking at the team, you're looking at the Millwall team itself, and you're thinking it's not really got that much quality to it. And it's a game on paper you'd expect Leeds to win, 9 times out of 10. But we got ourselves through it. We got ourselves through it. That's the main thing, isn't it? But yeah, sort of the team we went with 4-1-4-1. Again, me and Steve debated it in the review. In the preview of the game. What will the team be in this game? Will we be making changes? And in the end, the only change we saw was, I'm just thinking of myself that, the only change we saw was Kiko Garcia obviously being suspended, BPF coming in, and it's still a 4-1-4-1 we went with. And I think, I have to say, it's twice now we've come against teams going 2 up top, and I think we've looked suspectable defensively. I think we definitely need that extra cover. When you play we play against 2 up top, it's 2 centre backs against 2 strikers, and sometimes if a midfielder makes that late run into the box, it becomes 3-on-2 situations all the time. And that happened a bit against Millwall. Ben Thompson, number 8 for Millwall, gets himself that first goal, the first goal even, and that's a worry to me. That is a bit of a worry. Teams might look at that, might play off the fact that we're playing, back 4 against teams that play with 2 up top. And let's be honest, there's not many teams in this league who go with 2 up top. It just happens that we're playing a lot of teams consecutively who are 2 up top base. Birmingham most definitely. You look at their front 2, Lucas Djukovic and Che Adams, of course. Che Adams, who's up for the Championship Player of the Year award. I don't agree with that. Let's be honest. I don't agree with that. Definitely not ahead of Pablo Hernandez. But let's be honest, they're 2 top players, and it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle in the Birmingham game. But let's not go too much into that. But I just feel generally we have got a problem, defensively against teams that go 2 up top. But we've not been punished too badly so far. I think Millwall did have chances in the game. I think certainly sort of the first 15-20 minutes, I was disappointed with our start to the game. I have to be honest, the start to the game was not great. It wasn't great, was it? So that's probably been quite kind, isn't it? If we're being honest, I thought we were hanging on in there for the first 10-15 minutes. We were absolutely all over the place. Johnny Janowski probably had his poorest game at left back for me. Liam Cooper looks a little bit nervy to me. I think he's starting nervy, but and then we concede. I think the best thing that sort of happened to us was conceding. Because it woke us up, it got us back into action. I think as soon as we conceded, we finished that first half really well. You know, I think when we got deserved equaliser, obviously the missed penalty off Patrick Bamford. Jack Harrison's had that chance, you know, one-on-one. He's gone with his right foot rather than left foot. And you're thinking at half-time, yeah, to be fair, we've had chances to be in the head, but yeah, we sort of rode that storm. Luckily, it's only 1 goal rather than 2 goals. It could have quite easily been 2 goals. You know, it really could have been. Let's be honest. And as much as I feel like I'm being really negative here to start off with, but this will get more positive, guys, as we go along. You know, I do feel like I'm being really negative at the minute, but I think we were lucky to an extent on Saturday. I have to be honest, we were lucky to an extent. You know, at times we looked a little bit nervous, to be honest, and that's natural. Let's be honest, it's absolutely natural. We're going to get nervous at times. You know, I think any team's going to get nervous. You know, in the situation we're in, you know, everything's so tight, the margins are so tight. We had to win that game on Saturday, and to be fair, that's the main thing now. We got that win. Fully deserved as well. No, don't know what I'm going on about that. That was a complete and utter brain freeze, that. I don't really know what I meant there. But yeah, what I was meant to say there was that there's been other games we deserved to win and haven't won. You know, I think in the end of the day, it does balance itself out. That's the main thing. You know, I think against Sheffield United, we did thoroughly deserve something there. Yeah, didn't we? Let's be honest, we did deserve something there. It's a bit of an injustice in that game. I didn't want to go too much into that at the time because it does even itself out. And at the end of the day, it probably did even itself out a bit on Saturday. We didn't quite deserve to win the game, but we won the game. That's the main thing. Then move off from that. You know, we're getting rambling a little bit on that. But second half, you know, we make a change at half time. We make a big change at half time. A big call off Bielsa. We took Gianni Aronofsky off and put on Barry Douglas, and I was surprised by that. I'll be honest, I was surprised by that. You know, I mean, Aronofsky was having a pretty poor game. Guys, I'm just going to turn the lights on. Actually, it's a little bit dark now. 1 second, guys. Apologies about that, guys. But yeah, he made a big call, didn't he? Let's be honest, he made a big call in that second half, taking off Aronofsky and putting on Barry Douglas. To be honest, let's be honest here, he made a bit of an error, didn't he, Barry Douglas, on that second goal. You know, he lost the ball very cheaply, which was, you know, frustrating that he lost the ball so cheaply. We were caught very badly on the counter attack, and that's probably the prime example of where trying to play 2 centre backs against 2 strikers isn't working for us. You know, against the Sheffield United goal, they had that man over in Chris Basham, and in this game, you know, it was Lee Gregory for Millwall. You know, he was the man over. And if you just have that extra centre back, you just get extra bit of insurance. You know, in the back 3 system against 2 strikers. You know, and let's be honest, Liam Cooper recovered well, but he dived in. That was the big error I think Liam Cooper made in that situation. You know, all he kind of needs to do is stay on his feet and try and make Lee Gregory go around him, but he sort of made the decision for Lee Gregory by diving in. Yeah, but it's one of those things. It's a split-second thing. We got caught on a counter-attack. It's one of those things. You know, it happens. We go 2-1 down. I felt we were a bit unlucky to go 2-1 down at that point in the game. Obviously, I'm seeing a lot of comments here about Patrick Bamford's performance. Let's be honest, Patrick Bamford is probably one of the poorest individual performances we've seen in the game this season. But you know, Paddy's done well for us, hasn't he? He has. For me, I think he's done a decent job. You know, he's not done as well as Roof. There's absolutely no question about that. He's not been as effective a centre forward as Kevin Roof. But I still think he's done okay. You know, he's still a good player for me, Patrick Bamford, and he's had a shocking game. Let's be honest, absolutely everything's gone wrong for Patrick Bamford in that game. You know, he's missed the penalty. If he scores that penalty, as I was saying to my old man, he probably gets a hat-trick in that game. You know, I think as soon as he missed that penalty, he completely hammered his confidence like it would any player. And it just meant it was a different kind of game for him. Yeah, I think he's trying to force things a little bit. You know, he's snatching at shots, trying to get on his left foot all the time when he could have had shots off on his right foot. One of my pet hates, that is, to be honest, when a player tries to hit the ball, hit a shot on their stronger foot when the opportunity's there to just get a shot off in the first place. That is one of my pet hates. It's frustrating sometimes when you see that. But it was just, I felt it was more that than anything. You know, I don't think, in some ways, I think Kemar Roof fits the system better. In other ways, I think Patrick Bamford fits the system better. I think certain games suit, you know, the different types of player better. I think possibly you could say on Saturday was probably more of a Roof game. You know, a little bit more pace in behind, you know, the 2 centre backs went, because the 2 centre backs didn't seem to have that much pace, and I think Kemar Roof probably could have exploited that a little bit. But at the minute, you're looking at the situation, and as Harry Burns says there, I've just seen a comment flash through there. I agree, Bamford missed penalty and his head went down. Let's all get behind him. He had a poor game, but no way has he done it on purpose. That's the main thing, really. It's a one-off. At the minute, it's a one-off. Obviously, if he has another couple of bad games, then the criticism's fair. But let's be honest, I think Patrick Bamford's done a good job. His scoring record's good. He links up play well. Okay, he's missed some chances. He has missed some chances last couple of weeks. But I don't think, I think Patrick Bamford is what I call a false nine to me. I don't think he's a out and out, goal-getting 20, 25 goal seasons, striker. I think Conor has been more that man this season. He's been probably the better finisher of the two. But I think Patrick Bamford brings that a little bit different, something a little bit different to Conor. I don't think one player's better than the other. At the minute, I don't think one player's better than the other. It's an interesting one, isn't it? It's an interesting one in the sense of who's Marcelo Bielsa going to go with against Birmingham. I'm not going to be surprised if it's Conor because Conor has been Marcelo Bielsa's man since the first kick of the season. We had a big call, Marcelo Bielsa at the start of the season, which I think you have to remember. When Patrick Bamford was fully fit at the start of the season, Marcelo Bielsa went with Conor against Stoke. That was a big call. That it was a big message to, I guess to the fans, to Conor himself. I think Conor, when he saw Patrick Bamford arrive, probably thought that was his chance. It was his chance of being the main man. Gone, but that hasn't turned out to be the case. I just want to say as well, if you guys haven't seen already, we got a picture with Conor as well. So we're not being biased towards Roofy at all, but he's absolutely top guy as well. Absolutely top guy. Can't speak highly enough of him. But I think it's going to be interesting to see who starts that Birmingham game. Let us know in the comments, guys, who you think is starting that game. I think there certainly was a case to start Bamford again. A couple of you guys have said that Bamford will score on Saturday. I do have that feeling. He's going to give us a big performance. Of course, I think his last sort of poor game for me was probably against QPR away. And he responded probably with his best performance in the Leeds shirt by far. Probably one of the best performances I've seen off a Leeds United striker in some years against West Brom. But it was an absolutely perfect centre-forward performance. So yeah, I mean, guys, what you thinking? You're thinking Conor or you're thinking Patrick Bamford? Maybe not necessarily what Marcelo Bielsa is going to go with, but who would you go with? I think from the majority of comments, it seems like you want Conor. And then, yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. I don't know. I'll be honest, guys. I'm not sure who I'd go with at the minute. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it, guys? So yeah, let's go on to the second half then. So we go 2-1 down. I always get waylaid when I do the live reviews and that. They always go from one point to the other. But yeah, right. Let's get back onto it anyway. So the second goal for us. Great bit of pressing off Jack Harrison. He loses the ball quite cheaply, but he never gives up on it. It's something I don't think we've seen off Jack Harrison. About 5 or 6 weeks ago. Still have a criticism of Jack Harrison. I do have a criticism of Jack Harrison, and I think it is justified. At times he is a really frustrating player, but at times he does do some really good things in this Leeds team. I have to be honest. I'm not his biggest fan, but you have to acknowledge sometimes he does do some really good things, and he is sometimes really useful. We need to see more of it. We need to see more consistency. We need to see him taking on his man on a more regular basis. He has good spells in games. In most games he does have good spells. 10, 15 minutes. First half on Saturday, second half on Saturday, he has really good spells in the game, but just sometimes drifts in and out of games for me, and that's a little bit frustrating. His work rate's massively improved for me. Massively improved, and you have to say full credit to Jack Harrison. And he's probably justifying his place on that left-hand side. Of course, we all love Jack Clarke as well, but if we're being honest, Jack Clarke hasn't really, obviously since the horrendous incident against Middlesbrough, obviously where getting taken to hospital, etc., etc. I don't think we've quite seen the same impact of Jack Clarke off the bench, but that's probably understandable. But in terms of our season, we have to go with who our best options are. And I think on that left-hand side, at the minute, on current form, I'm not saying necessarily who's been the better player this season. I think Jack Harrison is justifying his place purely for the fact that he is having decent spells. But that is the position where I'm thinking we're not quite getting enough. We're not quite getting enough off anyone at the minute who are playing that position. It is a little bit frustrating. But yeah. Great pressing of Jack Harrison, fantastic ball into the box off Barry Douglas first time. I do feel for Barry Douglas. Obviously Joe Wainman's going to be watching this and is going to be absolutely screaming at the screen as soon as I say this. And first thing he said to me on Saturday as well after the game was, Oscar's not going to stop going on about Barry Douglas's cross to the second goal. I think everyone thinks that I'm Barry Douglas biased, but I'm honestly not. I just feel he gets a bit of hard treatment because of what he did at Wolves last season. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think he's done that much wrong. I think obviously playing in the back four rather than the back three has affected him a little bit. With Wolves, it was more about his attacking play rather than his defensive play. He probably had the same defensive weaknesses in the Wolves team, but he wasn't quite as exposed as badly as if he was playing in the back four. But yeah, I think you have to say, of course, I think Alioski gets quite lenient treatment for me because he's a left winger playing at left back. I feel he has a lot to answer for on that first goal. Of course, Barry Douglas has a lot to answer for on the second goal. But I do think that's a lot closer a battle at left back than I think what the perception is. I think a lot of people say Alioski all day long ahead of Barry Douglas, but for me, I don't think it's that. At the minute, of course, on current form, you have to go Alioski. Absolutely 100%, you have to go Alioski. But as things progress, I'm looking at it on Saturday and thinking, that's a tough call, that's a tough call, especially after Barry Douglas did improve a lot after his error, after the error, he did recover quite well. I think certainly look at Jed Wallace. I thought Jed Wallace was one of Millwall's best players on Saturday. He caused a lot of problems in that first half. Alioski could not get to grips with him at all for me. So it's an interesting battle, isn't it? In the left back spot, and I don't think it's quite as decided as what it seems at the minute. That's what I reckon anyway. Interesting one in the comments there. Unsung hero this season is Jack Harrison. But yeah, I mean, it's fair enough. Jack Harrison does have spells and games that are really useful. His end product is gradually improving for me. I still think he needs to show a little bit more, but he has improved a lot in the last couple of weeks. And I have to be honest about that. I've been probably Jack Harrison's biggest critic. And certainly on the sort of the channel and that lot. I don't think anyone's been more critical than myself of Jack Harrison. When we signed Jack Harrison, I was absolutely buzzing. I just don't quite think he's produced. Certainly considering he's had that much game time since Samir Saeed's left the club, since we've changed sort of the structure of the midfield a little bit. And obviously, Barry Douglas and Alioski going to left back and that lot. I don't think we've quite seen what I was expecting of Jack Harrison. I don't think he's been terrible by any means. I just think he just needs to affect games a little bit more. He's got the talent. That's the thing. He has got the talent to do it. He has got that natural ability. You do see it. He just has to show it on a more regular basis for me. And maybe it's elements of confidence as well. I'm certainly not going to start saying Jack Harrison's a bad player because he isn't a bad player. He just has to show that little bit more consistency. Whether that's controversial, I don't know, guys. But just seeing one of Harry Burns there as well. Just to a lot of love for Jamie Shackleton as well. I was surprised Jamie Shackleton didn't come on Saturday. And I will go on to Bielsa's subs a little bit as we go on anyway. But yeah, and just to mention on that second goal, how can we not mention Luke Aylin's header? What an absolutely superb header that is. The run, the movement into the box. He's just gone from right back and forth. Everyone's wasting chances. I'm going for this. Absolutely superb header. Top corner, unstoppable for the keeper. He played a massive part in that first goal as well. I've not quite mentioned that. The link-up play on that right-hand side, Pablo into Click into Aylin, Aylin back across to Pablo, fantastic understanding there. There's a fantastic understanding between those three players, especially in their sort of attacking moves. A lot of it does build around those three. And Luke Aylin, how well has he played? How well has he played since, he had all the critics, after him. He's been absolutely superb for me. I think certainly the last 6 weeks, I think he's been our best player. I have to say, he's been absolutely superb every single game. I think it's something ridiculous, like 1 goal and 4 assists or something like that. It's absolutely crazy stuff. In his last 7 or 8 games, I'm not 100% sure on the stats there, but it's a big boost to this team. It's a massive boost to this team. Having Luke Aylin playing his absolute best. I mean, he's playing probably his best football for me since probably that first season under Gary Monk. And let's be honest, Luke Aylin has been an excellent player for Leeds United, but he was a little bit out of form. Let's be honest, he was a bit out of form. Sort of December, January, start of Feb. But he's recovered really well. I think he's been absolutely superb. And I'll be honest, I was one of the first people sort of saying Jamie Shackleton should play instead of Luke Aylin. But I always felt Luke Aylin deserved more respect. When he was getting a lot of criticism at the start of the season. I think form is temporary, class is permanent. I'm a big believer in that. I'm not massively affected, in terms of, I don't really pay too much attention on saying he played really well one game. He played really bad one game. I always try and look at like the last 5 or 10 games. You get that impression. That's what Marcel Bielsa has done with Luke Aylin. He's persisted with Luke Aylin. and he's more than justified the how much he's backed him. That's the main thing as well. But yeah, we get a second goal. The first goal's good. 2-2 might sound arrogant, but I did feel we were going to win the game. I didn't feel that nervous. I hardly celebrated, to be honest, this at 2-2 because I felt we needed that with that third goal. We needed that third goal. Because at that point, Sheffield United were dropping points. We had to take advantage. And we did. And we get the boost, of course, of Bristol City winning their game as well. I mean, all hail Andy Weinman. Absolutely superb performance of Andy Weinman. If you haven't seen his second and third goals, make sure you watch them. Even, it doesn't even matter. It's Sheffield United. It's just two absolutely superb, fantastic goals off Andy Weinman, and a fantastic hat-trick really as well. And just great. It's done us a massive favour, isn't it? I've always said it's more about what we do. Danny Winter says at least it's back in our own hands, and that's key. It's back in our own hands. It's all about what we do. Only we can mess up now. Let's not be arrogant. At all. Sheffield United have been excellent this season. Norwich have been excellent this season. There's still a long, long way to go. We've got to improve. We have to improve on that Millwall performance. Let's not make any mistake about it. I think that Millwall performance paved over a few cracks. Probably our poorest performance of the season. Got to handle pressure a little bit better because Birmingham have got that little bit extra more quality than Millwall. That might be controversial. I don't know. I just feel Birmingham do have that little bit more quality and pressing away. It's naturally a tougher game. But we're going to have poor performances. It's about coming through it, but we've got to, sort of take that as a bit of a wake-up call. How tight that game was. It was a little bit too tight for my liking. But just to mention as well, I think the Elsley substitutions. Okay, Barry Douglas is a little bit at fault for the second goal, but I think it made a big effect in the game in the sense that it moves players into different positions and that lot, and it just made a bit of a difference to the balance of the team. I think Adam Forshaw, as Joe has touched on, Adam Forshaw made a big difference on Saturday, and I'm not always been keen on Adam Forshaw playing the holding midfield role. I prefer him a little bit higher up, in more of sort of a high eight role, alongside Click, etc., etc. But when you're chasing a game, you want someone like Adam Forshaw on the pitch. Of course, he's not maybe the most physical kind of player in terms of off the ball work, in that holding midfield role. When you're chasing a game, that doesn't matter so much. It's all about trying to get on the ball, change the angles of attack a little bit, try and get on the ball, play a couple of passes, try and control the tempo of the game, and dictate the tempo of the game. That's what I felt Adam Forshaw did. Lovely bits of creativity, trying to spray the ball about, and I thought he had a good impact on the game. It was a sensible impact on the game for me, and I think that's why you value players like Adam Forshaw, you value your guys like Berardi, you value your experienced players. It's key. They are key at this point in the season. Adam Forshaw's experience is probably our most experienced player. Well, it is our most experienced player in terms of promotion races. He's experienced with Middlesbrough, he's experienced with Brentford. I think he's experienced with Wigan as well. He has that experience, that sensible head. In tight situations, he kept his cool. And I thought, we didn't have maybe his most influential game, but he gave that team that experience. I thought he calmed the team down. I think he really did calm the team down. But yeah, it's Barkers is in straight away. I thought it was a little bit quiet on the chat there. Any news on your potential loan move to Borough Fan TV? As you saw, I wasn't on post-match pints. I've been dropped from the front three. No, joking, guys. I just unfortunately wasn't able to do the post-match on Saturday. I just had to rush straight off after the game anyway. A couple of guys have commented about me making an appearance on the Sky EFL Golf Show. Thanks so much, guys. It's been absolutely fantastic this season for the channel. Being able to have that other bits of media and that, and it's all down to you guys. Your support has been absolutely unreal. I don't mention it enough. You are absolutely unreal, guys. But interesting one there. Just a quick look glance at the comments as well as I speak. McKean's Media. Hey Oscar, that Millwall game was the best I've ever been to. What was your most memorable / favourite game? That has to be well up there. In terms of the 30-minute swing of 6 points. Sorry, 20-minute swing, 6 points. That has to be well up there. In terms of pure emotion after a game, Bristol City will always be top for now. Will always be top. But I feel I'm hoping that's going to be beaten. But for me, Bristol Rovers at home in 2010 will always be top. I'm getting really confused today. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think it's April Fool's Day. Might play a part. But yeah. I mean, guys, that Bristol Rovers game will always be tough to beat. Going to go for Ellen Road once. I think Tottenham at home 2-1 when we won in the cup. It's hard really, to be honest, trying to think of all the. But there's been a few this season as well. Stoke at home, Blackburn at home around Christmas, West Brom at home. The 4-0. But I think on Saturday it just felt that little bit more different. I think the celebrations after that Sheffield United result came in. It's been scenes I've not been used to at Leeds for years, absolute years at Leeds. I don't think anyone's been used to. But Claudio, I've just seen your comment there, mate. Could you possibly post out the stream for this on Facebook, Twitter, etc., mate? Cheers, anyway, mate. Yeah, I think it has to be up there, the Millwall game. In terms of memories, I think that would be a game, no matter what happens this season, I remember that game for absolutely years. Barks is telling Claudio what to get done as well, which is good to see. But yeah, I mean, Damar Facey says Norwich will slip up. I have to be honest, Norwich, I think if they win the next couple of games, they're probably pretty much there. I think the pressure comes off them a little bit as well. But I was really impressed with the win against Middlesbrough. It's a good win, that, let's be honest. Kept a clean sheet, kept it tight, good win. But yeah, I mean, Barker says Norwich are up as well. But it's going to be interesting. I mean, in terms of man of the match, guys, I'd be interested what your comments are. Man of the match, I thought was a really tight one. I'm going to have to go, to be fair. I think Pablo was the most popular choice of man of the match. But for me, I felt Luke Hayden was probably the most influential player on Saturday. Or Tyler Roberts, probably. I think it's probably between Luke Hayden, Tyler Roberts and Pablo Hernandez for me. It felt all three were so massively influential on Saturday. But I'd probably go Luke Hayden, I think, purely for that moment of the beauty of the header as well. The crucial role he played in the first goal. I just thought Luke Hayden was absolutely superb on Saturday. Controversial perhaps, but I'll do a quick little player ratings as well, guys, because I lost the trail of thought now. I didn't get the player ratings out either, but so let's do a bit of player ratings too. So BPF, probably go about 6 out of 10. I think BPF made a big save in that first half. Let's be honest, made a big save. Sorry about that, guys. Probably had a bit of a disruption there. But yeah, BPF played a massive part. He made a really good save. Sorry, let's just see if we're back on. Yeah. So a slight disruption there. See if we're back on there. I think we are back on there. But yeah, if BPF makes that big save in the first half, in the first 10 minutes, and it probably does change the game a little bit. He did panic, when he had that ball that went down the side. He did sort of, obviously, he had a fresh air kick and could have led to something else, but he didn't. That's the main thing. Guys, I have no idea what's going on now. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know if you guys can hear me, but anyway, right, it's back in 1 second. There we go, we're back on live. Right, we're back on there. I apologise for that one, guys. But yeah, BPF to start off with. Barks has given me absolutely loads, as ever. Yeah, BPF, 6 out of 10 for me. Makes a big save, couple of nervy moments. Couldn't really do anything with the goals in that lot. But I'd go 6 out of 10. Do you agree, guys? Let's wait and see. Luke Hayden has to be an easy 8 out of 10. Easy 8 out of 10 or so. Maybe on that first goal he could do a little bit better. He could track Ben Thompson a little bit better. He did see that situation arise. But plays a massive part in the 2 of the 3 goals, and that has to be full credit to him. Pontus, I'd go 7 out of 10. Thought Pontus was absolutely rock solid at times. a little bit, sometimes a little bit rash. I think in the second half, he dived in a couple of times. His temper got the better of him once or twice, but look, it was a good one-chance performance. He came off. I think because he was on the yellow card, I think that's probably the main reason for that, not because he was playing poorly. Liam Cooper, I probably have to go 5 or 6 out of 10. I think I have to take off marks that second goal. He did dive in on that second goal. It probably could have cost us the game. It didn't. I think even Liam Cooper admitted himself on Twitter that in effect Pablo got him out of the shit and that lot. I think that was his exact words actually. But yeah, I think obviously it was a little bit of a not Liam Cooper's best performance for me. Maybe that's controversial. Let us know, guys, what you think of that. I watched at the time. After the game, I felt Liam Cooper didn't play that poorly. But I saw the second goal again. It was a little bit disappointing. Now we dived in. Eshjan Alioski, I've got to be honest, about 5 out of 10. I thought Alioski probably is easily his poorest game at left back for me. But yeah, I mean, it was just one of those things. I think defensively, after looking at him on the first goal, it was disappointing. It was a couple of defensive errors that led to the goals, which is a bit frustrating. KP, I've got to go about 7 out of 10. I think his passing in the first half especially was absolutely superb. Defensively, a little bit sometimes tested by Ben Thompson. A little bit, probably out of position a couple of times. But look, it's KP. He recovered and he finished the game really well. He went to centre back and he was absolutely solid for me. Right hand side, Pablo, 8 out of 10. Easy 8 out of 10. 2 good goals, 2 good bits of movement, and we were alive with Pablo. He keeps us alive at the minute. He just, we were in real trouble at 1 down, could have gone 2 down, and he just stood up, and the whole team raised his performance. But I felt sometimes after we got 3-2 up, I felt Pablo lost the ball quite cheaply, really cheaply, if I'm being honest. Claudio was quite rightly giving Oscar Marriot a 1 out of 10. I'll probably give a 0 out of 10 for that completely utter cock up on the 100 seconds off air, whatever it was, 2 minutes off air. Absolutely ridiculous. But Renos quite rightly gives Claudio a 3 out of 10 as well. I'd probably possibly go a 2 out of 10 as well. But yeah, and 0 out of 10s as well for me as well. But Mateusz Klich, the next one I'm going to move on to. Mateusz Klich, I felt at times was good, but sometimes just faded in and out of the game, especially by Mateusz Klich's standards. Probably one of his poorest performances at home. It was still decent enough for me. I'd go about 6 out of 10 for Mateusz Klich. I thought it was decent enough. Let us know, guys, if you agree with that. Tyler Roberts. I felt Tyler Roberts. We're talking about Mateusz Klich having probably arguably his poorest game, one of his poorest games at home in that position. We're talking about Tyler Roberts having one of his best games in the Leeds shirt. I thought it was absolutely superb, Tyler Roberts. Great work for that third goal. We didn't panic. He got the weighted pass, weighted cross even just right. He picked out his man, and he was aiming for Pablo as well. It wasn't just a hit and hope thing. He was looked up, beat his man, looked up, and I thought it was absolutely superb. Tyler Roberts for me, 8 out of 10 for me. Possibly even a 9 as Iqbal Mohammed says. Left hand side, Jack Harrison, probably a 6 out of 10. I think it was just an average performance of Jack Harrison. Started the game well enough in terms of the first half. Finished the game quite well in that first half. Second half, some decent spells here and there, but not quite enough for me off Jack Harrison tonight on Saturday. Getting words right mixed up anyway. But Patrick Bamford's a tough one. Probably a 2 or 3 out of 10. I can't go any higher. I can't think of much that Patrick Bamford did right. Maybe that's really, really harsh, but I still really rate Patrick Bamford as a player. I have to, I really do have to, because he's got such intelligent movement. I think probably Millwall was the first time he didn't show that, intelligent link-up play, that lovely touch and that lot that he has. I think his first touch of the game just wasn't quite right. Missed the penalty, but it's a bad game. It's a bad game, isn't it? Let's be honest. He will recover from it. You guys are saying that he's going to score on Saturday. I agree with that. I do feel that's going to happen. Getting criticised there for the 2 out of 10, but I honestly, guys, it's very rare I'll go that sort of dramatic. But I just can't think of anything that Patrick Bamford did that was good on Saturday. he still managed to be better than Steve Morrison. He still managed to be a bit better than Steve Morrison. I mean, that was one shocking cameo, 5-minute cameo for Steve Morrison, wasn't it? Let's be honest, guys. It's Oscars time of the month as well. I don't, maybe guys, maybe I'm being a bit too critical there, but I honestly, genuinely cannot give him much higher than that. Barkers is absolutely, he's not happy with that, Barkers. And he's prayed for forgiveness off Barkers, don't know, at the end of the day. But substitutions, this is the one Claudio's waiting for, Barry Douglas. We always have an argument with, this is, it's a bit of an in-joke this between me and Claudio and Barry Douglas. Claudio can't stand him and loves Alioski. I like Alioski, but I also like Barry Douglas. So we sometimes clash about it. For me, Barry Douglas probably at 6 out of 10. He made that error on the second goal, which we have to be honest was an error on the second goal. Everyone thinks I'm Barry Douglas biased, but I've just given him a 6 out of 10. Let's be fair here. But yeah, in the absolutely superb ball into the box for Barry Douglas's. Barry Douglas got to get a 6 out of 10 for that. The ball into the box was superb. I thought he defended quite well after that. Go 6 out of 10. Maybe he could stretch to a 7, but I'd probably go 6 out of 10. I thought he was all right. I thought he recovered quite well. Probably did a better job on the day than Alioski. Maybe that's controversial. I don't know. Adam Forshaw for me an easy 7 out of 10. He was good. He really was good. He made it. And I think in terms of impact, you have to go about an 8 or 9 out of 10. But in terms of actual how he played, I thought he was good. I think he kept things ticking over. Intelligent little passing. I don't think anything really happened in front of the back four after Adam Forshaw came on and moved into that position. I thought he really snuffed out the attacks well, and I thought he did really well, Adam Forshaw. And possibly you could say maybe he's an outsider starting against Birmingham because he's that little bit. He gives that little bit different, and that's something a little bit. That's something a little bit different. If I can get the words out, I'll try anyway. But yeah, Adam Forshaw was good. Let's be honest with you. That's probably the least I can say really. 8 out of 10 for rebound Mohammed for Adam Forshaw. Other substitution was Jack Clark. Jack Clark probably about a 5 out of 10. I don't think Jack Clark really did much when he came on. Probably his poorest impact off the bench so far. And let's be honest, he has had a really good impact off the bench all in all this season. So it was a bit surprising to not see the biggest impact off Jack Clark on this occasion. Barker says Forshaw is so underrated by the Leeds fans, always puts a shift in. I have to agree, I think he is one of our most underrated players. I have said in the past I've been a little bit disappointed on Forshaw in terms of how much he's cost us and how sometimes he's been a little bit average. But yeah, it's a team game at the end of the day, as Depcon 22 says. It is a team game, and Adam Forshaw is a valued member of this team. Maybe individually he doesn't always have the biggest of impacts, but he makes the team play better at times. He comes on at key times sometimes, and he does have good impacts. Parks is criticising only 5 out of 10 are given. I did think there were some people who didn't perform on Saturday, and I didn't think it was the best performance on Saturday. Maybe that's controversial, but I did feel we were a little bit reliant on individuals on this occasion. I think Luke Ayling, Tyler Roberts, Pablo, I think were the people who were reliant on this time. I don't think there was many good performances on Saturday. Maybe that's controversial, I don't know. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling anyway, guys, on the player ratings. But I do think that Adam Forshaw, especially when he plays higher up the pitch, is underrated. I think every single time he's played in that high 8 role, I think he's done well. Okay, maybe he's a little bit too similar to Matthijs Klik, and he would go with Matthijs Klik if it was a battle between the two. Pretty much 99 times out of 100. But yeah, that's what I'd certainly say anyway, guys. But yeah, I mean, guys, I'm just going to go a quick look at ratings. I had a quick look at the player ratings of Phil Hay. That was pretty much what Phil Hay was going with as well. And yeah, I always try and compare it to Phil Hay. So Phil Hay is the oracle, as Joe Wainman said. I'm interested, how I think Marching On Forever as well does a player rating 2. One does player ratings 2. So always try and compare it to that as well. And it's pretty much the same thing. Maybe different on a couple of players, but that's what we're saying anyway, guys. But let's see some of your comments anyway. Barker says, Claudio is a promising young talent. You could be even further down the pecking order soon. Quite rightly too as well. Conor, sorry, I have to get that comment back. Conor Salah says, do you have a season ticket? I do, mate. Yeah, I've got a season ticket in the stand. To be fair, I've had the season tickets the last 5 or 6 seasons. I think it's 6 this season actually. I'm trying to remember, guys. Anyway, interesting one off Renault's. Forshaw's too slow on the ball for the system. Now, I do agree that when Adam Forshaw plays in the holding midfield role, that's one of the biggest criticisms, because I think the holding midfielder, KP, is probably the main man for the system, from the start of the game, because he does move that ball a little bit quicker. He is sometimes on the 1-touch, 2-touch. And I think he does play that role better than Adam Forshaw. It goes without saying. But I think, in terms of the high out role, I think that suits Adam Forshaw better. Sometimes he takes that little bit more time on the ball. He likes the tight spaces and that lot to can play in the tight spaces. And I think he thrives off that sometimes when he's got a little bit of that pressure on the ball, keeping the ball, turning his man, trying to construct attacks from deep. I think Adam Forshaw suits that role better. Someone who can play, put his foot on the ball, and just sort of take a little bit more time and keep us on the ball a bit more, press high at the pitch sometimes when necessary. But I do agree that Renault's, I think Forshaw is too slow on the ball to start games in the holding midfield role. I don't think he quite tracks his midfield runners as well as Calvin Phillips. A couple of times this season, especially around December, we can see the goals from that. But I do really like Adam Forshaw, especially when he plays high up the pitch or when he comes on. We need to juggle things about. I think he's a good player to have. 1-0 Arsenal, by the way, guys, as well. I'm not too sure who scored, but I just saw that flash through off Cellar Dwellers. Conor Salah also asks, do you go to away games? I try to go to as many as I can, mate. So it's difficult, guys. I'll be honest. Sometimes I do have to go in the home end from time to time. It's not the favourite thing to do, but I still prefer to be at the game as much as I can. But yeah, I think I've done about away games, probably about 7 or 8 over the season. Not great in terms of like what the rest of the Leeds TV team's done. Tash, Joe, done loads of aways this season. They are our main away fans and that lot, especially Tash. Barkers is saying he's reporting me going in the home end, disgraceful behaviour, but sometimes you have to do it. I mean, there's been some games this season where it's been a little bit nervy. Stoke away was a bit of a God. I hope no one clocks me on the Leeds fan here. That would be a pretty difficult situation if that had happened, to say the least. But no, guys, I would rather get to the game than not get to the game. But if I can't get in the away end, I do try as much as I can to get in the away end. Sometimes I just go in the home bit. But yeah, that's what I'd say. But if anyone's got any spares for Birmingham, please let us know. And I'll most definitely, one of us will take the tickets off you. I'll definitely take the tickets off you if you haven't got any spares for Birmingham. Let us know, guys. You absolute legends. Disallowed goal apparently for Arsenal. Have I been mugged off it? I don't know. I've literally just read out that Arsenal have scored. They have scored. Yeah, Ramsey. I'm getting mugged off here. But yeah, it's but Barks is criticising me, and now he's saying that he's going in the home end for Ipswich and Brentford. And now he's talking about the Ipswich memberships. Let's not go into that anyway. But yeah, that's the thing, guys. Try and get to as many games as I can. Certainly all home games and as many aways as possible. With not living in Leeds, sometimes it's a bit expensive to get to home games, but try and get to as many as I can, guys. But for pretty much every game this season, there's been at least one representative from all Leeds TV at the games. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? That, next couple of games, some really tough ones. For the next 2, you look at us and Sheffield United having the same run of games. It's going to be a big 8 days, isn't it? Really, I've got definitely the Preston game. Hoping to get to Birmingham if I can. But yeah, it's going to be so big. But I think what I'm happy with is that Sheffield United are playing Preston first and we're playing Preston second. I think Preston are a really dangerous team. They had a poor result on Saturday, but I think in general, you're looking at how Preston are playing, how they're attacking teams, the football they're playing. I think that's going to be a really tough game. I'm happy to play Sheffield United first, and they're going to be a little bit more, maybe they're quite a high pressing side, they're going to be a little bit more tired when they come to play us. Birmingham, I think they're a little bit less aggressive off the ball. I don't think fitness is going to be as much of an issue. So I think from that point of view, I think it does kind of, we're talking about small 1-2% margins here, but I do think that kind of works in our favour a tiny bit. Not loads, but I think it does work in our favour a little bit. But yeah, that's my feeling on it, guys. Anyway, and if there's anything else you want me to discuss, guys, I think I was going to wrap it up there. But guys, you got anything else you want to ask? Claudio's now trying to trade his Preston ticket. I'm not sure, Claudio, why you're trying to trade your Preston ticket. But yeah, it's going to be a really interesting next couple of weeks, isn't it? Make sure you check out, guys, if you haven't already. We tried something different on Saturday. If you haven't picked up already, in fact, guys, you've got a couple more questions through, so I'm not going to wrap it up yet. Gary Keith, how many changes if we go to the Prem? Now, this is something I discussed with my old man. I think the key thing to avoid is if we went up, let's emphasise that. Small changes only. Not big wholesale changes. Because you look at Fulham, it's the wrong way to go. It upsets the whole balance of your team. If you went up and then you said to 7, 8, 9 of your starting players, you said, you've got us up, and now you're straight out of the team. What's that going to say to morale of the team? You look at Wolves. Wolves is the way to go about it. Big changes, but in terms of quantity, small. 4 new players brought in, and that's not a lot. It's still 7 of these. It's pretty much 7 of the starting 11 from the Championship, and they've kept that morale, and they've just added little pieces and that lot, but they've made big differences to the team. So that's the way to go about it. As Barker says, big if. James Obi has asked, James, I know quite well, seen quite a lot of games this season. What do we need when we go up? I like that when bit as well. But yeah, I'm looking at it and thinking, right now, if you ask me right now, I think we need another covering defender, play centre back. Definitely need maybe someone else who can play centre back, a different kind of option, maybe a little bit more pace potentially. We can possibly cover the full-back areas as well, but that's going to be a big ask, getting that as well. Possibly another midfielder, obviously to replace Saiz. I'm looking at wingers. We probably will need another winger as well. And then probably a striker as well. That's probably the 4 I'd look at. I think another defender, another creative midfielder, another winger. Dan James has been mentioned quite a lot in the chat tonight, and another striker as well. Yeah, I'd go about 4 signings. I think anything more than that, I think it's a bit upsets the balance of the team. But it's still a long way to go, guys. Of course, a lot can change. Form can play a factor. Injuries can set in. It's still a lot can change. But I wouldn't make too many dramatic changes in that lot. You've also got to consider as well what Mark Wilson says. We've got under 23 options as well. We've got loads of players who are playing really well. In the under 23s and are ready to step up. We've seen this season Jamie Shackleton, Jack Clark really stepped up this season. It's interesting, isn't it? It's but yeah, it's interesting to see some comments, guys. But I think another thing I just want to finish off with, and it's a very good question. Slow Steady Steve and McKinnon's Media has asked about the extension to the ground. I think that is needed. What I would say is I'll be reluctant to do it if it meant disrupting our attendance at any point next season. I think it would be good to see, but I certainly don't want to see us have to drop the crowd by 25,000 to allow for a development, which could happen depending on how big the development is. I certainly would like to see the South Stand boxes knocked out to allow, another 500-600 seats in. I think they do take up quite a lot of space in that South Stand. Yeah, you look at the old pictures. I've only ever known the South Stand with the boxes in, but you look at the old pictures from the 80s and that lot with the South Stand, how much better it looks without the boxes, how much more intimidating it looks without the boxes. The West Stand needs doing. Let's look at the West Stand, guys. I mean, the West Stand's one where I look at and think, that's one that's. For some reason, we're talking about my position in football now. Reynolds does actually call it right, and to be fair, that is the position I do tend to sometimes play. I don't really play competitively too much now. Play sort of once or twice a week and that lot. But yeah, no, Reynolds does call it right. But I don't really not really ask what position I play. Yeah, I'm just one of those people who just puts in 100% every single time. But yeah, I think the redevelopment, guys. I think that is something we do need to look at. But I wouldn't want it to disrupt our any of our our attendance for next season. I wouldn't want it to impact on that. Getting called the Michael Brown of the team and that lot by Barkers. Another top guy, by the way, Michael Brown as well. Met him a couple of times this season. Outside the ground, he's absolutely superb. Speaks a lot of sense. Actually, I'm a big fan of Michael Brown on the in terms of the pundit as well. Claudio's just said I'm better than Pablo Hernandez. That's absolute. That's an offence, that Claudio. I'm not. I'm not. Let's just say that to say the least. I don't think anyone's better than Pablo at the minute. But yeah, I'm thinking we're going to wrap it up there, guys. Barker says as well, West Ham needs major redevelopment. But guys, you've been absolutely amazing again. I apologise halfway through for having an absolute brain freeze for about 2 minutes and the video just completely disappeared. But we recovered it. I hope anyway, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you leave your comments down below if you're watching this after the live stream. Check out Post-Match Pint on Saturday. Something else we tried. A little bit different on Saturday. Between Joe, Conor and Tasha. They absolutely smashed it, guys. Absolutely superb. And of course, Conor's Wednesday Night Football. And Thursday, of course, we're getting the previews out as usual. Friday, guys, I want to know what you think. In fact, if you're still on the live stream, if you're still on the live comments now, guys, I want to know what you think for all these two investigators this week. I was having to do a look at Gary Monk's time at Leeds, sort of a tactical review. How some of the decisions Gary Monk made that made an impact possibly on this season. Would you want to see that, guys? Would you want to see a review of Gary Monk's team? It's a bit of a historical one as such. Or would you rather me do one on Carlos Coburn? I want to know, guys. Let us know, guys. Barkus asks, is it going to be live? Neither of them probably. I don't think either of them might be able to do live, guys. It'll be sort of like diagrams and shit like that, basically. But yeah, it'll be one of those, guys. But whatever you want to see, guys, it will be something a little bit different. It won't be like a live one. It would be just something a little bit different, guys. Let us know what you think, guys. Just leave that in the comments down below, or as on the live stream, etc. But guys, I hope you enjoyed it this week, and Joe will be back as usual. I hope I've done a decent job this week. I never do the same job as Joe Wainman. Make sure you check out our previews on Thursday as well for the big game against Birmingham and the big game after that against Preston. I'll see you later, guys.